to be bloody and a violation of human rights. And as a Jew and an American, I'm here to say that I want to offer of a ceasefire accepted and a withdrawal of Israeli troops and the commencement of serious peace negotiations, which we haven't had for 8 years now, which I believe could actually have an impact and make not only the Palestinian people safer, but also Israel safer. So,
how has it been for you to be a outspoken Jew who's been vocal on this issue?
Well, I mean, I think all Jews who talk about this issue do it with a great deal of anguish. I mean, there's a very powerful identification with the history of the Jewish people that led up to the creation of the State of Israel, and Jews have all sorts of different feelings about the existence of Israel, but I think Jews of conscience feel that it's an imperative to not stand by silently while the Palestinian people are brutalized and oppressed, and so it's not comfortable, and I find it very painful. I love being Jewish. I love Jews, and I don't like being screamed at by Jews. But that's life. You have to do what you feel like you have to do, and I think this is it's immensely important for the Jewish people that we not remain silent because we're afraid of speaking out. And I think there's a great deal of pressure from within the Jewish community to be silent. And I feel like it's gotten easier over the last few years to speak out. I think that the dialogue has changed, and so I'm happy to be here doing it.
Well, you went to Gaza?
Yeah, I've been twice to Gaza.
And what was your impression?
Oh, I mean, it's horrible. I mean, it's the highest population density on the planet, I think, and people are living there, and really, I mean, this was the last time I was there was 5 years ago, and I know it's gotten much, much worse. It's an impossible situation for people to live in, and it's I think that it would change anyone who feels that this is a simple situation and that Israel is doing nothing but sort of protecting its towns from rocket fire really needs to go there and meet Palestinian people and also look at the way that they're being forced to live. I think that one day standing at a checkpoint is enough to change your whole way of thinking about this. I mean, it's unimaginable that people have maintained any kind of individual or communal coherence in the face of this kind of suffering. And I mean, it's real, terrible suffering. And Jews with our millennial history of surviving oppression really should have a deep sympathy and understanding. And it's a shanda that we're the authors of oppression anywhere on earth. It shouldn't be the case. We know better, and we should do better.
Pulitzer Prize winning playwright Tony Kushner speaking on Monday outside the Israeli consulate at a protest against the attack on Gaza Strip. Kushner was among hundreds of Jewish Americans gathered there. These are some of their voices.
I'm Jane Hirschman. I'm one of the organizers of this event tonight. We are Jews standing here together. We want our voices counted. We are opposed to the massacre in Palestine. We want the Israelis out of Palestine. We want a ceasefire and an end to the occupation. We feel it's very important as Jews not to be silenced any longer. And we're joining with Jews around the world who are saying that the Israeli government does not speak for us. Neither does the U.S. government. Their policies have aided and abetted the slaughter in Palestine and the dehumanization of the Palestinian people, and we want it to end.
My name's Esther Kaplan, and I'm here to raise my voice to try to stop this massacre in Gaza. There was a huge pro-Israel rally yesterday right on this spot with all the major Jewish organizations, AIPAC and the ADL, claiming that this assault is legitimately in Israel's self-defense. It's a ridiculous argument, and they don't speak for the entire Jewish community. That's what we're here to say today.
It's a big turnout today.
Well, you know, we were ready for maybe a sorry lot of a few dozen people, but there are hundreds of people here, and I think it speaks to how dismayed people are at what's being done.
Well, I'm a Jew, and I'm very ashamed of what's happening in the Gaza Strip. And I'm heartbroken because we've been through it. We know what it is to have a person like Hitler decide to kill all Jews. For us to turn around and do that to other human beings that are so much like us. They look like us. They eat the same food. They help build up Israel. It's more than I can stand. So I'm very ashamed. And they in the Israeli embassy should be very ashamed.
I think it's really important. I mean, in a way, this is a human issue for every person, not just for Jewish people. But I think it's extremely important right now that Jewish people be out and visible and make it clear that as Jews, as people who've experienced genocide against our people, that we understand that the Palestinians are today's Jews. And if we learn the lesson of the Holocaust, the lesson is we need to be out and we need to speak for Gaza, as we had always wanted people to speak for us.
Voices of protest outside the Israeli consulate in New York yesterday. The protest was organized by Jews against the occupation. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, the War and Peace Report, as we turn now to look at Hamas. Residents of Gaza suffered the most intense bombardment of the 18-day war last night as Israeli warplanes carried out strikes throughout the Gaza Strip. Israeli tanks supported by warplanes have reportedly moved into several southern neighborhoods of Gaza City. The Palestinian death toll is now over 930. More than 4,000 Palestinians have been injured. 13 Israelis have died over the past 18 days. 4 of them, Israeli soldiers, died in friendly fire. The United Nations estimates about 60,000 Palestinians have fled their homes, but many residents of Gaza have no place to go to seek refuge because all the Gaza border crossings are closed. On Monday, the UN Human Rights Council adopted a resolution condemning Israel for, quote, grave violations. The non-binding resolution said Israel's attack had, quote, resulted in massive violations of human rights of the Palestinian people. Zaki Shahab is the political editor of the London-based âThe newspaper and the Arabic TV channel LBC. He's